Good morning, good evening, good wherever you are listening from, and a very warm welcome to the Robins unofficial podcast with me, your host, Captain James Birdseye. It is absolutely fantastic to have your company, and it's really good to be back after a bit of a time away with the old horrid COVID. I don't recommend it. It's absolutely hideous. But I must thank you so much for all your really kind tweets, kind messages, and not just the club, as not just us as fans as well, but some players. And I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. And I know actually quite a few of the players listen, including their families, which is really, really nice. And we really appreciate it. And that's the beauty of Bracknell Town, isn't it? That's the beauty of the Robins. So, what have we got coming up? Well, of course, we are out of the FA Cup now, but what a great run it was. That's all fine, but we're still in the FA Trophy, so that we've got to talk about, and also got to talk about the league as well, and the game against FC Romania on Saturday. So I dare say we'll mention that as well. We've got with us today is going to be the lovely Guy. Unfortunately, I mean not unfortunately. Fortunately, we've got Guy, which is great. But unfortunately, dear Steve Whitty, the milk tray man, is apparently at Chocolate HQ. Doing some very advanced stuff. So I don't know if he's going to be going off maybe helicopters with his polo neck or what it's going to be. But he can't join us, unfortunately, today. He's very, very with Guy as well. So that was very, very sweet. Right, let's get on with it then.
Well, we're here at FC Romania at the Cheshunt FC ground, and we have the team sheet news of who's playing today. This time, we have got the lovely Sophia and Emma. Now, Emma doesn't want to say many teams' names, apart from one who she likes extensively, so I reckon she'll probably say him. Here we go, and so go on then, Sophia, who's in goal?
Scott, Dean,
Genovese, yes. Liddy.
She.
Bailiff.
Bayliss, Reese, Herbert, Atkinson, Moore, Bowman.
Seb Bowerman.
There we go, Seb Bowerman. Oh, and on the subs bench we have Knight, Grant, Suarez, Maturino, I think it's Maturino, and Ishmael.
Come on, you Robbies.
Wolves are steeped in legends throughout history.
One of my favourite composers, John Barry, with his famous film score, Dancing with Wolves, the nickname for today's host, FC Romania. Welcome to FC Romania, Wolves in Sheep's Clothing? Well, we'll find out in the next 90 minutes. Now, the club was established in 2006 by Ion Vintila, an immigrant from Romania working in the UK, and was eventually joined by other colleagues who wanted to play football in their spare time, so the team name evolved. The club has recently struck a deal with Boreham Wood's civil engineering company, SF Stefan, reputedly worth around £750,000 over the next 5 years. They began playing in Sunday League football, initially playing in the London Weekend League, and after winning their division at the first attempt, the club switched to Saturday football, joining the Essex Business Houses League in 2008. In 2010, they joined Division 1 of the Middlesex County League. In 2012, the club finished runners-up in the Premier Division, but were unable to be promoted due to ground grading regulations. FC Romania were Middlesex County League Open Cup winners in 2012, and in 2013, the club entered the FA Vase for the very first time, overpowering Tring Athletic in the first qualifying round, before losing 7-0 at Hoddesdon Town in the next round. In the same season, the club finished runners-up in the Premier Division for a second successive season, and they were then promoted to the Essex Senior League. The club originally played on Hackney Marshes, but when they joined the Middlesex County League, they began playing at Leighton Sports Centre until a ground sharing agreement was struck with Cheshunt at Theobalds Lane, which allowed them to meet the ground grading regulations. Now in 2015, saw the club enter the FA Cup for the first time, progressing to the second qualifying round, but they were unfortunately defeated by the mighty Sutton United. The 2017-2018 season saw FC Romania finish third in the Essex Senior League, and following their departure from Shore Lane, they were promoted to the South Central Division of the Isthmian League as part of the league readjustment. The club and the manager have appeared in sports newspapers and magazines, including BBC Sport, Gazzetta dello Sporto, L'Equipe, The Times, The Sun, 442 magazine, to name a few, and on television in the UK, on BBC, and on Japanese TV with NHK, and, believe it or not, even on Romanian TV stations, Pro TV and Digisport. Now, the club has developed into a focal point for the Romanian community, but has also attracted many local and English fans as well. They have a very vocal fan base, although some of the melodies are recognisable. It is impossible to understand the chants, unless of course you're fortunate enough to speak fluent Romanian. But the club obviously has ambitions to progress through the leagues and reach higher standards of football while developing the team. Founder and current player-manager Ion Vitila commented, "The aim is to eventually have our own home and become a respected and established part of English football, encompassing all good things about England and Romania and being successful in everything we do." It's half time at FC Romania v Bracknell. I've got Louis SB with me, who's going to review the first half.
So, thanks for having me, to be fair, today. We started quite well. Goal first minute, second minute. And then we kind of sat off a bit. We've had about 11 corners so far, so it's like we should have scored a few more, but they got the goal back, and we kind of went end to end. Then we got the goal before half time, and I feel like we're in a really good position now to kick on the second half if we can keep it tight at the back. What about your views on the holding? There's been a lot of holding going on, the rest not seen it. What do you reckon? I think it's like on your day you'd want it as well, and on their day they want it. So it's a bit 50-50. I think the ref can't really see it. The lino is nowhere near him. But at the end of the day, I think they should probably help each other out. If they can't see it, then just don't give it. Many thanks, Louis. So let's have some more in the second half. Yeah, thank you.
This is your Navy reporter, Gisun, and bringing you all the news and views from Bracknell Town. I say, come on you Robins.
Well, the final whistle has gone at Theobald's Lane. The visitors, Bracknell Town, stamping their authority on what was a really entertaining game. We wish FC Romania all the best for the rest of the season, and I'm now in search of some Robins players to get behind the mic. Michael Atkinson on the touchline at the end of the game. Could you give us your views on the game, please, Mike?
I thought it was a good game. Two very attacking teams. We probably should have won 10. We should have scored about 10 goals. We hit the post a few times. But look, we got the result in the end, and we played very well. We probably could have been a bit defensively a bit tighter, but overall, very pleased at the end.
Fortunately, I've got Will Dupre on the touchline. Didn't play today, but just going to have a quick word. What do you think of the game, Will?
Yeah, it was a good game, good performance from the team. Yeah, worked hard for each other and got a good result at the end. So yeah.
When are you back playing, do you think?
Should be next week.
Magic. Looking forward to seeing you then.
Cheers. Thank you.
Welcome, Robins fans, to the Bracknell Town Countdown. At number 4, we're away at Theobald's Lane. On 3 minutes, Seb Bauman slides in a low cross and Dan Bailey slams it home. At number 3, Sigurso equalises, but Mikhail Plak puts a cross in the box and Bauman scores from a rebound from the keeper. At number 2, it's a 1-2 at half time, but it didn't take long. Flat for Grant, who nods in number 3. And at this week's number 1, it's penalty from Seb Bauman on 77 minutes. De Silva reducing the deficit, but it's too late. Pop pickers, not off. Come on, you Robins.
Well, a very, very warm welcome to Guy. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. To go through the game that was FC Romania, obviously away at the Cheshunt ground, which we both were at. Unfortunately, our dear friend Mr. Whitty, the milk tray man, was very busy with work, so he couldn't join us. But lovely to have you, Guy. Really is. Thank you so much for joining us.
Many thanks, James, and it's great to have you back as well, firing on all cylinders again. We've really missed you, and the delivery is very unique. So I've done my best to try and to stand in for you, but it's never going to work. Not with accent.
You've done a brilliant job, and it's really appreciated because it was one thing off my mind, but also it was great to listen to the podcast as a listener, really, because of course I couldn't go to the games for a bit, so it was absolutely fantastic to hear it from the other side. So thank you so much. It meant a lot. It really did. So FC Romania then. Let's start at the start, I guess. The first sort of quarter of the first half. What was our sort of thoughts?
Well, you were saying about the first part. I actually missed the first part because I was still on the M25 at 3:00, and I just got there in time to hear a massive cheer from the Bracknell fans, and we'd gone ahead by a great goal by Dan Bayliss on 3 minutes. And I just got into the ground as I think it was, I'm not sure if it was De Silva or Steiner, but they equalised within another couple of minutes from a long shot from the keeper that one of the forwards picked up on the right hand side. I can't go into too much detail because I didn't see all of it, but the Robins were very up. I mean, they were really keen to make an impression. I must say though that FC Romania's strategies were fairly commendable, and their standard of play has got a lot better since we played them last season. I agree. I don't think that it was for their position within the league. I personally felt, I mean, yes, okay, maybe in the second half, but I actually felt their standard of play was better than their position, actually. I really do. I mean, it was a great goal by the goal machine, which is Dan Bayliss. I mean, as I say, 3 minutes in, I mean, just absolutely fantastic. I mean, that was great. I mean, it was just looking on the Twitter here, which is always helpful to sort of regain our memories a bit. Seb put a low cross across the box, and then bang, Bayliss just whacked it straight in. I mean, and that's the thing with Dan. I really feel he's such a thoughtful player. He's one of those players that will see the opportunity, always does things in slow time. I feel there's never a rush with Dan. It's a very thoughtful process. I don't know what your thoughts are, really. Most definitely. You often find that centre backs are of that mindset where they have to plan for what could happen, and I think that because of his mathematical brain, he's able to work out what's feasible and what isn't, and that's why he can come forward so much, and he's got the pace to get back. I definitely agree with that because, as you say, you never really seem to see a rushed or a missed chance. It's always planned, almost strategical, and he's there, and he never misses an opportunity. And they work well off each other. Another thing about Bracknell yesterday, although it would have been good to have a clean sheet, they were working more as a team, and I love the way they were switching from left to right and confusing that defence. I've watched some of the video playback, which I'll post later, and you can see that Seb's drawing the defence right over one side, and then he'll fake across to the middle, but then hoops it over to Michael on the far side. I mean, to be fair, I think we could have had 10 goals because we had so many opportunities that didn't materialise. But no, I thought it was great, and the way that I think it was Mikel Platt was shielding off, holding back defenders to let the other forwards come through on the with the channels. It was very 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 good. It's just a shame we didn't score.
Absolutely, because I mean Platt's a little bit further in, around about 10 minutes after they equalised. Sigatu, I think.
That was it.
Yeah. He equalised at 22 minutes, and then it was 1-1, which was suddenly a little bit of stress. But Platt then came off the post. I mean, it really. Very absolutely great play by Platt, and it's a shame really, because I thought that was going to be a goal, but alas it didn't go into fruition, which is it does happen, absolutely. Then obviously we got to 2-1 with Seb.
Yeah, it was magnificent, wasn't it? I mean, it was just he came off, it rebounded, and he was just sitting there, and he just slotted it in. He actually lost his footing as he went down, but it went in, sent the keeper the keeper went the other way. It was a great goal. But I must say that I never thought that Bracknell looked rattled at all. I don't think they looked panicky. Even when they equalised, they always looked confident that they would come back. I didn't see any sort of rash decisions. They were totally in control, and I think they knew there were more to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I say, the work between Platt and then Seb just find that loose ball, and then bash at 41 minutes. So at half time, it was 2-1 in 2-1 to Bracknell at half time. Which definitely reduced the nerves for me. I think I was really impressed by Bracknell's performance, but again, I think credit where it's due to FC Romania. I really think they played well, and I think they gave us a good game. I mean, the second half things tailed off a little bit. And obviously we'll talk about that in a second. But I felt very much that it was a real quality game of football. To be fair to them, and also their keeper I thought was very good as well. To be fair,
I think he made a few errors, but I think as I said before, I think their standard of play has come up a lot, because I've been reading about them. They've been working quite hard to improve the standard of play and bring in other squads, but. I was very worried about playing them again, because when I saw them before, there were a lot of late challenges, and it was quite brutal. If you remember rightly, I think the referee sent two of the players off, or at least one of them. But it was a lot more physical game, and I was pleasantly surprised I didn't see any of that. There was quite a bit of holding going on, and I managed to get an exclusive interview with Louis SB, who goes through that. But he said that basically, what the ref can't see that. So a lot of the holding that was going on wasn't.
There wasn't there? It was quite a tall player. I don't know what number his six. Number. What number 6? Yeah, and we as fans communicated quite extensively to the ref about that. And I think he did see it once, and I think there was a word said, and it did reduce slightly. I mean, the difficulty is obviously when you're in the game, it's very easy to sort of feel that the referee is all one side or another. I actually felt that the referee, particularly the first half, let quite a few things go, but to be fair, I felt he let it go on both sides, which I don't mind as much. If it's one side not another, then that's a more of a problem. But I didn't think he had a particularly bad game. What was your thoughts on refereeing? Because I don't know if you know. I mean, so dear Guy actually also is a referee. So it's always lovely to have your sort of opinion on the officials of the game, because as I say, it's taken from an area of knowledge, really.
Yeah, well, when I began refereeing probably 10 years ago, but I don't do Sunday leagues anymore, but mainly involved in disabled football now. But having said that, you start to make the decision that the laws of the game still apply. I sometimes watch, and not so much with the Robins, but when I watch games, I sometimes watch the ref rather than the game to see what I can see. And I always think that if you don't notice the referee, then he's having a good game. And I think, and I've got to get out of the habit of slagging the referee off. I was reprimanded by Stephen the Gaffer Whitty for doing that, and I'm going to have to stop that. I think it's only I'm getting my own back, and all the fans who keep giving me so much abuse in the games that I do. But I think he did have quite a good game. I can't really say that he made any sort of howling decisions, and you didn't really notice him in the second half. So I think he overall did have quite a good game, and he was just and fair across the board with both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in terms of with the officials, I think it is something that I think is absolutely appropriate to talk about. I think as long as, from my point of view, and on the podcast, it's something that we do, with respect, and and if they don't have a particularly good game, I mean, from either side, I don't think it's a problem to mention it, but I do think it's all about making sure that it's done out of respect for the officials, but also the understanding that these people give up their time. I know that they're more professional now. They're professional sort of thing, but they come a long way a lot of the time and such like. And I think we're always. I hope that we're always respectful to them and understand that they're a vital part of the game, and without them we would have no football. So so they're a very important part. Okay, so if we just move on then to half after half time. So had kickoff pretty quickly. We had a substitution. Granty came on for Mikel Platt. What's your thoughts about that change?
I don't think Mikel was having his best game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think he's very influential, but I think I think Bobby made a good decision bringing him on there, because Joe's had a few knocks, and I think he's was looking forward to coming on, and I think he timed it to perfection, because it was only a few minutes later that he had once again. I can't quite remember who the defender was. Not defender, sorry.
He came between two defenders, and then but
he picked up a loose ball on a second bite, and it was the work of the forwards again that were holding up their defenders, which gave Joe the chance to come in and head it in.
Yeah, it was from a cross from Seb Bauman again. Lovely cross, and that was 3-1. At that point, I very much felt that the stress sort of came down, massively at that point. That was absolutely great news, really great news, and yes, and then of course, the spot, the penalty.
De Silva equalised then, didn't he? Yeah. And then you're going to go talk about the penalty.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, absolutely.
To be fair, he didn't hit that ball very hard. Seb normally bashes them, but I think he knew he had the keeper. I think he just hesitated slightly, and you could see the keeper move to his right. And I mean, he just went completely the wrong way. So I think the keeper could have done better there, personally speaking, because he's not that bad. But no, great penalty. I mean, let's face it, you very rarely see Seb miss a penalty, and I mean, I think we did the other day at home, but it's a rare thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I mean, there are a couple more changes. Obviously, Max went up for Luis Suarez, and we had also Shamir Moore came off for Manny Manchurio as well. So good bit of some good changes, which is nice. And it meant that they got a game, which is absolutely fantastic. And in the end, a penalty was given on the 86 minutes against us. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really see particularly well because I was at the other end. But that said, we went down. There was a player went down in the box, and fine, okay, we gave a penalty away. But at the end of the day, it's the results game, and we know that, don't we? So I mean, to finish with 2-4 to Bracknell, I think that's a superb result. That really is. That's
right, and you mentioned the fans. I think it's probably one of the best away games I've ever been to. We were very vocal. One of the guys has penned some chants, which I tried to get going, but I don't know all the tunes yet. But we did get going, and I was really pleased with the way that we reacted. We were quite vocal. We were as good as they were. So I think that's something we're going to see more of. And likewise, you mentioned about the changes with the squad, with Bobby rotating players. I think you're going to see that where possible. I think you're going to see that more often because he's got a couple of the academy players that have now been signed to first team paperwork, which means that
saw that today. Very exciting.
Yeah. So that is good. I mean, let's face it, that's run as an academy now. So essentially, we're going to see, I think, a lot more of that rotation if and when it's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really exciting, and that is the thing that is so special about this club is that you've got now the opportunity of the academy coming through, and with these young players, if they're good enough, they will sort of make it all the way through, which is really, really exciting. And to have some sort of home players, homegrown as it were, I mean, couldn't be more exciting. Absolutely great, really great stuff. And we've got some exciting games coming up, haven't we? Which will be good.
We got Cinderford Town on Saturday in the FA Trophy third round, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's nice to have a little bit of another bite at the cherry on the on an FA. I mean, it's not the FA Cup, but it's still very important and still good income for the club, which will be good. But of course, with the whole COVID situation, we just need to keep going, make sure we're social distancing and doing wearing masks. I thought that FC Romania were very good on that, and the fans generally, the mask wearing was excellent, as was the social distancing. I think we really did think about that, so that was all good. But thank you so much, Guy. It's been absolutely fantastic as always. Really, really appreciate it.
No problem at all, James. Great to have you back, and look forward to seeing you at the weekend.
Thanks so much, Guy. Really appreciate it.
As ever, thank you so much for listening to the unofficial Robins podcast. It has been lovely as always to have your company. It really has. Please do subscribe, share, like, and comment on any of your podcast methods. Yes, we're available on Acast, on Apple, iTunes. Yes, what else are we available? Google Play. Pretty much everything. So please do go and do that. That would be really appreciated. And again, thank you very much. And until next time, ta-ta for now.
We all follow the Robins wherever they may go. We all follow the Robins away.